Motorsports Coverage presents Speed World. Tonight, live from Bristol International Raceway in Tennessee, it's the NASCAR Winston Cup Bud 500. And the weather is absolutely beautiful here in Northeast Tennessee. Temperature 69 degrees, skies are clear, and there is no chance of rain. Good evening, everybody. I'm Bob Jenkins, and welcome to Bristol International Raceway. Now, we've always had a special arrangement with Bristol International Raceway, and the announcement earlier tonight that we will televise races into the 21st century here, and we couldn't be happier about that. Now let's talk about tonight's race. The quest for the Cup standing shows us that Davey Allison is 37 points behind the leader in the quest for the Cup standings, Bill Elliott. Harry Gant is third, Alan Kulwicki fourth, and Mark Martin is fifth. Now, the standings in the Busch Grand National Division were jumbled last night after their race here, and the Winston Cup standings could do the same tonight. The reason is because the drivers are competing on a surface that is totally foreign to them. For more on that, let's go to Pit Road and Dr. Jerry Punch.
Thank you very much, Bob, and hello, everyone. You know, it took a lot of courage and over $750,000 for Bristol International Raceway promoter Larry Carrier to turn the world's fastest half-mile facility into a concrete arena. But after 3 paving jobs, which were not to his satisfaction, in fact, the pavement began to come apart, he said, I'm going to put concrete down. And many drivers believe that it's the wave of the future. 250 laps last night. The surface may be a little bit rough, but it didn't come apart. That's exactly what they wanted. This track will be one of the best, if not already one of the best in America when it comes to 2- and 3-wide racing in years to come. But tonight in the early laps, it may be a little bit rough.
Well, there are the cars lined up ready to go, and here is the die-hard starting lineup. A new event record from Ernie Irvan, 120.535. He'll start on the pole in the number 4 Kodak Film Chevrolet. Ricky Rudd will start alongside in the number 5 Tide Chevrolet. Going to row number 2, it's Brett Bodine in the number 26 Quaker State Ford, flanked by the Valvoline Ford number 6, driven by Mark Martin. Alan Kulwicki, the defending champion, going for 3 in a row tonight in the Hooters Ford, will start in 5th position in car 7. Ken Schrader in the Kodiak Chevrolet starts from 6th position. Going to row number 4 now, it's Davey Allison, the Haviland Ford, car number 28, and the Miller Genuine Draft Pontiac, car number 2, driven by Rusty Wallace. The 5th row consists of Daryl Waltrip in the Western Auto Chevrolet, car number 17, and Dick Triggle. The 6th row, Jeff Bodine and Jimmy Hensley. In row number 7, it's Hut Strickland and Dale Jarrett. Morgan Shepherd and Harry Gant make up row number 8. The 9th row, Derry Cope and Terry Labonte. Bill Elliott and Dave Marcis start in row number 10. And as you look at the rest of the starting lineup, notice that Winston Cup defending champion Dale Earnhardt back in the inside of row number 12, and the rest of the field.
Some awfully good cars starting way back in the field here, Bob, and that means that they're fitting on the backstretch, which normally is a disadvantage.
I was watching that telemetry today down in the trailer. You know how much speed they get up to, Ned, down the straightaway?
How fast?
135 miles an hour, and we're going green.
Here's the green flag. The Bud 500 is on. Lap without a problem. The leader is Ernie Irvan, and this is looking back from Hensley's car to Morgan Shepherd. And now back out of Morgan Shepherd's car, back to Derry Cope. Terry Labonte from Morgan Shepherd's Citgo Ford. Now that's... Oh, and a crash.
Ernie
Irvan has crashed. He has spun on the backstretch and made contact with the inside pit wall.
And he can't get going until all this traffic goes by. But he is going to say get in lap, but we can't see how much damage there is to the car. He made some contact with the right side. Man, oh man.
What a development this is, huh?
The left side of the car looks pretty good, fellas, as he comes around. Take a look and see what happened.
Just coming off the second corner, and around it goes. Ricky Rudd not within a car length or 2 of the Kodak Film Chevrolet, and he goes down and hits the wall pretty good with that right side, Ned.
Bob, you said that going into the turns, coming off would be the trouble spots. They say that it's somewhat washboardy coming off of that second
Bill
turn.
Elliott, Davey Allison, Harry Gant, Alan Kulwicki don't want to happen tonight is have problems early in the race like Ernie Irvan, because he can get killed in the point standings. Not only this race, but all the races remaining the rest of the year.
is the first of the second
And then
half.
22 car spins on the back straightaway. He's going down, and he misses the wall.
Just missed it. Sterling Marlin spins at almost the same point of the racetrack.
Ooh, he's going to come right out. Well, he stayed down on the inside. Though he's coming out in front of the leaders. No yellow flag, Bob. He didn't bother anything.
He got it turned around, and he too just comes off the second corner and without being touched or without any help at all, loses it and spins down the backstretch.
Wow. I mean, these guys are the best race car drivers in the world, and that's 2 in 15 laps, Ned.
Spun in the same portion of the racetrack. Up front, it is Ricky Rudd leading this race.
We're still watching Sterling Marlin. He and Dale Jarrett get together, and both of them spin down in turn 1. Kyle Petty goes around.
Well, Jarrett hit the wall. He didn't spin completely around. He kept going.
Action-packed Bristol International Raceway, fans.
And now the caution flag is out.
Marlin has some damage to the rear end of that car. He's going to go to his pit on the backstretch. Everybody else that was involved kept going.
And I think he's the only car that lost a lap.
Well, some action here in the first 21 laps, and here's how it happened.
Well, Sterling moved down for other drivers going into the turn to let them pass on the outside, and he got a little bit wobbly going into the turn, went up into Jarrett. You see Jarrett gets on the outside wall there, does some damage to the right rear of his car, and then Kyle Petty comes in there and spins around.
Morgan Shepherd narrowly avoided, and so did Jimmy Spencer to the bottom of the racetrack.
Kyle Petty made some contact, but Sterling Marlin loses control, Ned, just as he starts in the corner. See, he loses the back end just as he goes in the corner. You'll see Dale Jarrett. He made a little bit of contact, but I don't think the contact that Kyle Petty made is going to hurt anything.
Jaron, meanwhile, has some flat rubber on the left side of that car. Here's Jerry Punch once again with an update on Ernie.
Yeah, he's tried the high groove, the low groove, and none of the grooves are working good enough for him.
And a car into the wall. That's Dave Marcis in 41, the Kellogg's car.
He's sitting right back up a little bit, Dave. I mean, let off the brakes. I guess he did already. He would have thought of that.
He's on that portion of the track that is relatively flat there at the back end of the car, and then the high banking. The cars come down and take the caution flag.
Rusty Wallace and Michael Waltrip were hoping to get around Ricky Rudd, but he beat him back to the flag, so they did not get back to the lead lap.
This caution comes on lap 103. It involves Dave Marcis in his first ride for this team.
I see why he didn't roll back, because the left rear's been up on that car. Looks like pretty good.
We'll back up the tape here and catch the tail end of it. He's already made contact with the first turn wall and now sliding down the banking.
As Ricky Rudd, the leader, just barely got by.
And we have a lot of activity on pit road.
That kind of thing.
A few laps ago, Morgan Shepherd. This is how it sounded and looked from his perspective.
Sounds like he got tapped a little bit back there, maybe.
Does a complete spin around. Keeps going.
And looky here, Davey Allison has caught Brett Bodine and takes the lead.
He has passed Bodine. Davey Allison becomes our third leader. I believe it's third leader tonight, maybe fourth leader.
The gentleman coming up fast. Right behind them is Daryl Waltrip. New dad this week. Stevie had her
Yes,
baby
that's right.
on Tuesday, so congratulations to Daryl and Stevie, their second girl.
Sarah Caitlin Kearns Waltrip was born this week. Congratulations. And Martin's on the inside. There's a slower car up there. It's
had to back off. Jim Sauter was there. He got down as low on the racetrack as he could out of the way, but Trickles in the wall. Just a little bit.
Did you see that in-car camera shot of Trickles? He came off that corner.
That's what I call sawing the wheel and fighting it.
Man, oh man.
And Trickle is slowing significantly.
The right front tire is, and there goes Waltrip right by Brett Bodine. Just blew back on the outside.
Waltrip has found himself a groove, fellas. We predicted that the groove might move up as time went on. Daryl Waltrip is helping to do that. See, he's up a half a groove right there, not even having to race with anybody. But when he catches the lap traffic, he just goes above him on the outside. No problem at all. See there, he's running just a little bit higher than some other. Okay, there we see the contact between he and Martin, and into the wall he went.
And Martin came off the corner and ran right up on the back of Trickle, nailed him in the back, and just got him out of shape. Terry just knocked the rear wheels off the ground, and the right front goes in the wall hard, and Trickle did a super job to save that race car.
And so saw that Mark really wanted to take the lead. Well, they got down in there, and instead of getting himself into trouble trying to protect the lead,
Dale Jarrett
did the smart
apparently is
thing.
fine.
Dale Jarrett now is in the wall.
I'm not sure he made contact with the wall, but he did spin, and it will bring out a caution flag. He did make contact with the wall in turn 2, and so the caution flag flies for the 4th time tonight on lap 201.
Okay, this is breaking for Bill Elliott. Bill was not too far from going a lap down. He is currently running in 14th position and is the last car on the lead lap. And wouldn't have been many laps until the leaders would have caught him.
Here's the tail end of Dale Jarrett's incident in turn 2, sliding down the banking.
You can see Bill Elliott's car right there, the red car going around. You can see Waltrip on the right side of the screen, so not too far.
Yeah, there is the contact with the wall. And Rick Mast going by and Ernie Irvin sneaking by. Earnhardt 10th in the point standings. Not mathematically eliminated, but I think his chances of repeating as Winston Cup champion are pretty much over for this year.
Oh, Davey Allison, points leader, spins up in 3, backs in the wall.
Here's Marlin also spinning.
Some heavy contact to the rear of the, he's not the points leader, that's right, he's a second place car.
Nevertheless, he was trying to take over the points lead, and he has some significant damage to the left rear of that race car. Here's a replay.
There we see Mark Martin and Davey Allison, no one around him, just like Ernie Irvin, goes in the corner, loses control, backs in the fence. You know, we've had 2 or 3 other cars.
And Brent Bodine is going to nudge Sterling Marlin and send Marlin around.
We've had a couple of cars in practice. Michael Waltrip, depends on Pontiac, just going by the yellow car. Crashed this afternoon in practice, and that is a backup car he's using. Also, Richard Petty crashed earlier yesterday.
Let's go down to Jerry Punch.
And a heavily damaged Haviland Ford Thunderbird comes to rest here in the pit area. The crew, when they saw Davey's car come by the first time, they went ahead and took off back to the truck and have come back behind pit row with very, very large spotlights to get the car ready to be worked on behind the wall.
On the right side. Derek Cope slid up high out of turn number 2, brushed along the wall. Well, he hit pretty good.
He did hit it pretty good. That's going to bend up the suspension to render his car uncompetitive, I'm sure.
While we were away, we had our 6th caution. It came on lap number 273. And it involved Jimmy Spencer, capping in turn number 2. Here's the replay.
He's going down in turn 1. Actually, he loses control as he enters turn 1. And around he goes. Bill Elliott, the Winston Cup point leader, barely gets by, and no one else was involved in the spin.
He didn't hit anything.
Right now to try to keep the wheel of the way or gaining something. To do so, you got to finish ahead of the competition. So right now, that's what we're trying to do, get a little better motors, a little better car to be able to do that with.
And another crash, as Harry tells us about the possibility of winning the Winston Cup, and this one involves Rick Mast, and again, it's off turn 2 down the backstretch.
He was in a big pack of cars that Kyle Petty had almost lost it coming off in turn 2, and the car is really backed up there in a pack, and I think Rick got bumped from behind. This is the way it looked to me. Now watch the far right. You see him in the black and white car over there.
Richard Petty is the guy that did the bumping.
Just barely touched him and sent him around.
And he goes down and makes contact with the inside wall, about like Ernie Irvin did at the start of the race.
Stayed in.
And here's a pass for position as Waltrip takes over the 7th spot from Alan Kowicki.
You know, Ned, that's why Alan Kowicki stayed out.
Whoops.
Uh-oh, 25 in the...
Let's go. Oh, we have a crash in front of him is the reason everybody was slowing down. A car up against the wall. I can't see the number. It could be Ted Musgrave.
It's a white car. It's either Jimmy Means or Ted Musgrave.
And there's the leader coming down.
And Dale Earnhardt did not get lapped.
So this caution will be a break for him.
No, it's Musgrave. Yeah,
Musgrave.
I thought it was. He is on the lead lap. Watch the top of your screen. There's Musgrave spinning.
And I don't see anybody around him that would have had any contact.
And this was behind Ted, and watching everybody hit the brakes.
And we see Schrader running in the back of Bill Elliott, and Daryl Waltrip stopped his car, practically stopped his car anyway.
It's the 8th caution flag of the...
Going at it. The green Bodine, Brett, is on the inside of the red boat iron, Jeff.
Come up on Davey Allison, and Jeff might pinch Brett down on the inside of the track. Let's see what he does.
He'll let him go there, surely.
And Davey just went out of the way.
Spun out.
No, Brett, I believe Brett tapped him just a little bit coming off that corner.
Yep. Boy, Davey is just having a terrible evening. Now he's shortened the car up on the front end. Caution period number 9 is upon us as Allison's car is stopped here on the main straightaway. Let's look at it again.
There they are coming off of turn 4, and they come up on Davey. Davey tries to get out of the way. Well, I don't know.
I don't know. It's hard to tell
if
from
he
that
touched him
angle.
or not. It was hard to tell.
Maybe this angle will help. I don't think so.
I don't think he touched
No,
him. I think
I don't think he did either.
with the spoiler, no spoiler on the back of the car, I think when he turned it, the back end just came around. Here's one more angle. Let's see if we can see. No, I don't think
so.
Don't
No.
believe it is. Nope.
Nope. No contact. Daryl comes out and we are back to racing. Brett Bodine is the leader of the race, followed by Ricky Rudd. Now Rudd is the leader.
And here comes Rusty Wallace trying to get that lap back, still trying to get that lap back.
And a crash out of, Harry Gant has crashed here on the main straightaway.
Let's see.
How about that?
Now, Rusty's going to race him back. Harry down on the middle of the racetrack. There's a groove up there. They can race back. Everybody else should slow down.
And out in turn number 2, Alan Kowicki and Mark Martin have spun. And Rusty did not, as you indicated, get the lap back.
And Mark Martin has some damage, some heavy damage to the rear of his car. He is backed in the fence pretty good, it looks like. And look at the sparks. Oh, the front's banged up as well.
He's got damage all over the place. Now, this is the incident here on the main straightaway involving Harry Gant. Watch the back.
it looks like he and, was that Ernie Irvin down there? No, Michael Waltrip. I believe the yellow car just got together a little bit and sent him spinning around.
Harry is still parked right there. His car hasn't moved.
I think the rear end is really pushed back. It looks like sitting there as we see him coming off of the turn here.
Other angle.
You can see how it hits the wall. Boy, it gets up on the wall back
hit it
there.
hard.
And I think the rear end is certainly out of its normal position back there.
Now, while that was happening, out in turn number 2, this was going on between Kowicki and Martin.
Look at Kyle
Now,
Petty.
Petty just barely got through.
Man.
I don't see too much damage to Kowicki's car.
Well, certainly 2 cars that were very capable of winning this race have sustained damage. He was running that high groove earlier in the race and now doesn't seem to like it.
No, his car's not working up there nearly as well, but it's working on the inside.
Yes, it is. There's Waltrip, and he takes the lead.
And Kyle Petty's slow. Did he and Rusty get together coming off turn 4?
No, he seems to be back up to speed now, but
We'll take a replay. Here is Rusty and Kyle Petty right side by side. He and Alan Kowicki got together.
yeah.
And Kyle Petty, what a great job he did in saving that car.
There's one of those situations, Bob, you were talking about earlier. The car got completely sideways, and he was able to...
Yep, here's Daryl Waltrip. Now just 4 laps to go. 2 miles. Doesn't have enough fuel to go all the way.
Kyle Petty will make it.
We feel like he can go the way. He's still out there.
And
Kyle Petty's still on his bumper.
But what about Earnhardt?
He's still there.
Second. Yeah.
He's still there. He hasn't went in the bids yet.
2 laps to go for Daryl Waltrip. Next time around be the white flag. And Daryl will have his 2nd win of 1992. Going with his victory at Pocono. It'll be his 12th victory at Bristol International Raceway and his 7th win in the fall race, the night race. White flag is out. He's on his final lap. Less than a half mile to go now. Looks like the The crew is celebrating already. They know he's got a one. He can probably coast the rest of the way. Here's Waltrip off of corner number 4, and the checkered flag waves. Daryl Waltrip has won the Bud 500 at Bristol. Jay Gelder, the mechanic of the race, works his magic, takes Daryl to the victory. Second position goes to Dale Earnhardt. Third was Schrader. Fourth, Kyle Petty. And in fifth position was, I believe,
Alan Kowicki.
Was it Kowicki?
Alan Kowicki finished 5th. Bill Elliott was 6th.
So he will definitely add to his points lead over Davey Allison, Gant, and the others. Daryl Waltrip pulls his car to the Union 76 flag. And let's get down. Daryl Waltrip in victory lane. A reminder that baseball tonight is coming up in just a few minutes. Let's go down now to our Kodak Gold Film Winner Circle interview, and here's Dr. Punch.
And a tiny trophy it is. Daryl, I wish you would show some emotion. You danced on top of the car. You turned somersaults trying to get in here. Congratulations.
Honey, it's me again in victory lane with the, for the kid, for Sarah, Caitlin, Kearns, Waltrip. One time, drove my heart out, baby doll. Drove my heart out for you.
Now wait.
Come closer for you.
Oh, he's not happy about that. Oh, spraying a little Gatorade. Let me ask you now. Wait a minute. You had Jessica. You won. Now you had Sarah, Caitlin, Kearns, Waltrip. You won. What does that mean for Stevie at home?
Well, there's more rewards to having kids than I thought there was. No. It just means that I get really pumped up. I feel good, and Stevie's feeling good, and the baby's great. And I just come here with a good attitude, and my team is so great, and they're doing a great job. Praise God for a good night, for a win. Oh, everything I could hope for. What a week. What a year. What a day.
And he certainly is excited, and rightfully so. An excited new father and a winner here at Bristol International Raceway as Daryl Waltrip picks up win number 2 for 1992.
And it was the 83rd win of his career for Daryl Waltrip. It comes under the lights at Bristol. We'll be back in a moment.